7 tips to take care of your dog's health. And here's something that might surprise you. One of the most dangerous mistakes dog owners make has nothing to do with expensive treatments or rare diseases. It's something so simple, so ordinary, that it happens in millions of homes every single day. And most people have no idea they're putting their best friend at risk. Stay with me, because what I'm about to share could literally add years to your dog's life. If you enjoy fascinating insights like this and want to see more, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out. The silent mistake that's shortening your dog's life. Let me tell you about Sarah. Sarah is a devoted dog mom to a 7-year-old golden retriever named Max. She buys premium food, takes him to the vet regularly, gives him all the love in the world. One morning, she noticed Max seemed sluggish. Nothing alarming, just a little less energetic than usual. By evening, Max wouldn't eat. The next morning, he could barely stand. The emergency vet asked one simple question: has he been drinking water normally? Sarah froze. She couldn't remember the last time she'd actually watched him drink. She filled his bowl every morning out of habit, but had she been paying attention? Max was suffering from severe dehydration that had triggered acute kidney stress. The vet explained it had been building for weeks, maybe months. Small signs Sarah had missed: a bowl that wasn't emptying as quickly, slightly dry gums she'd never checked. That one simple thing, water, had almost cost her everything. Now, I'm not telling you this to scare you. Max recovered fully, and Sarah became one of the most vigilant dog owners I know. I'm sharing this because the biggest threats to our dog's health aren't exotic or complicated. They're hiding in plain sight, in the everyday routines we take for granted. So let me ask you something. When was the last time you actually observed your dog drinking water? Not just filled the bowl, but watched them, checked the freshness, made sure they were properly hydrated? Drop a comment below with your answer. I read every single one, and I promise I'll respond. Here's what most people don't realize. Water isn't just about quenching thirst. It's the foundation of nearly every biological process in your dog's body. Digestion, nutrient absorption, temperature regulation, joint lubrication, toxin elimination, all of it depends on adequate hydration. According to veterinary research, a dog's body is approximately 60–70% water, and even a 10% loss can lead to serious health consequences. But here's where it gets interesting. Dogs don't process dehydration the same way we do. When you're thirsty, you feel it immediately and you drink. Dogs, especially older ones, can lose their sense of thirst. They can be severely dehydrated and not even seek out water. It's not stubbornness, it's biology. So how much water does your dog actually need? The general rule is about 1 ounce of water per pound of body weight per day. That means a 50-pound dog should be drinking around 50 ounces. That's over 6 cups every single day. More if they're active, if it's hot, or if they eat dry food. If your dog eats exclusively kibble, they need significantly more water than a dog on fresh or wet food, because dry food contains only about 10% moisture compared to 70–80% in fresh food. Let me give you a practical test you can do right now to check if your dog is properly hydrated. It's called the skin turgor test, and veterinarians use it all the time. Gently pinch the skin at the back of your dog's neck and lift it up, then release. In a well-hydrated dog, the skin should snap back into place immediately, within 1 second. If it takes 2 seconds or longer, that's a sign of dehydration and you should contact your vet. Another quick check: look at your dog's gums. They should be moist and slippery. Press your finger gently against the gum. It should turn white from the pressure, then return to pink within 2 seconds. If the gums are sticky, dry, or the color takes longer to return, these are red flags. Here's what I do in my own home. I have multiple water bowls placed in different locations, not just one in the kitchen, one near their bed, one in the backyard, one in the living room. This makes water constantly accessible and helps me monitor their intake better. When I refresh all the bowls twice a day, morning and evening, I can see how much they've actually consumed. And let's talk about water quality, because this matters more than you think. Would you drink water that's been sitting out for 3 days with dust floating in it? Neither should your dog. Stagnant water can harbor bacteria, collect debris, and honestly, it just tastes bad. Fresh, clean water isn't just healthier, it's more appealing. Some dogs are picky drinkers, and freshness can make the difference between adequate hydration and chronic underdrinking. Some dogs prefer running water. If you've noticed your dog trying to drink from the faucet or getting excited about the hose, there's a reason. Moving water is instinctively more appealing because in nature, running water is generally safer than stagnant water. A pet water fountain can be a game changer for dogs who don't drink enough. But hydration is just the beginning. It's the foundation, yes. But there's something else you're doing every single day, something you think is helping your dog that might actually be working against everything you're trying to accomplish. It's sitting in your pantry right now. You measure it out with care, you make sure your dog gets it on schedule, and you probably spent time researching the best option. And the most terrifying part, the majority of dog owners have no idea that this common mistake is happening at the exact moment they think they're taking the best care of their beloved pet. I didn't realize it myself for years. What you're feeding your best friend might not be what you think it is. The truth about what you're feeding your best friend. You know that feeling when you realize you've been doing something wrong for years and nobody told you? That's exactly how I felt when I discovered what was really in the dog food I'd been buying. The bag had pictures of fresh chicken, vegetables, happy dogs running through fields. The price tag made me feel like a responsible pet owner. But when I actually learned to read between the lines, I was shocked. Here's the thing about dog food labels. They're designed to appeal to you, not your dog. Those beautiful images, the words like natural and premium, the promises of complete nutrition, it's all marketing. And most of us fall for it because we want to believe we're making the best choice. But do you actually know what's in your dog's food? I mean, really know? Let me walk you through something that changed everything for me. Pick up your dog's food bag right now. I'll wait. Look at the ingredient list. The first 5 ingredients make up the majority of what's actually in that bag. Now here's what to look for. The first ingredient should be a specific meat source. Not meat meal or meat byproduct, but actual identifiable protein like chicken, beef, or lamb. If you see something like chicken byproduct meal high on that list, let me explain what that actually means. Byproducts are the parts of the animal not typically consumed by humans. We're talking about feet, beaks, intestines, feathers. Now, I'm not saying these are toxic or that your dog will get sick from them immediately. But would you choose to eat the lowest quality parts of an animal every single day for years? The nutritional value is significantly lower than actual muscle meat. And here's where it gets tricky. A bag can say chicken flavor and contain almost no actual chicken. The word flavor is the loophole. It means the food tastes like chicken, maybe from chicken fat or artificial flavoring, but the protein could be coming from somewhere else entirely. A food labeled chicken dog food must contain at least 95% chicken. Chicken dinner or chicken entree only needs to be 25% chicken, with chicken needs just 3%, and chicken flavor needs basically none. Tell me in the comments, what's the first ingredient in your dog's food? I'm genuinely curious, and I'll give you my honest feedback on what I find. Now let's talk about those mysterious ingredients you can't pronounce. BHA, BHT, ethoxyquin. These are preservatives that keep food shelf-stable for months or even years. While they're approved for pet food, studies have raised concerns about long-term exposure. The European Union has actually banned ethoxyquin in pet food. Natural preservatives like vitamin E and vitamin C do exist, and brands that use them will proudly display it. Artificial colors are another red flag. Dogs don't care if their food is brown, green, or rainbow-colored. Those dyes, red 40, yellow 5, blue 2, they're added purely for human appeal. Some dogs can have sensitivities to these artificial additives, leading to skin issues, digestive problems, or hyperactivity. But here's what really matters. How do you know if your dog's food is actually working for them? Your dog's body will tell you everything you need to know. A shiny, thick coat means good nutrition. Dull, dry, or patchy fur can signal deficiencies. Consistent, firm stools indicate proper digestion. Chronic loose stools or excessive gas mean something isn't agreeing with them. Energy levels matter too. A well-nourished dog should be alert and playful, not constantly lethargic. The protein percentage on the bag is important, but quality matters more than quantity. A food with 30% protein from chicken byproducts isn't as beneficial as one with 25% protein from whole chicken. Your dog's body can actually use and absorb the nutrients from quality ingredients more efficiently. And please, talk to your veterinarian about your dog's specific needs. A Chihuahua puppy, an active Border Collie, and a senior Great Dane all have completely different nutritional requirements. Age, size, activity level, and health conditions all play a role. There's no one-size-fits-all perfect food. Now, even if you're feeding the absolute best food on the market, there's something that silently undermines all your efforts. It's something that 45% of dogs struggle with, and most owners don't recognize it as the serious health threat it is. This issue affects your dog's joints, heart, and can literally shorten their lifespan by years. I see it every single day. Dogs who are loved deeply, fed premium food, given the best care. But this one factor is slowly stealing time away from them. And the heartbreaking part is that it's completely preventable. In fact, you have 100% control over whether this happens to your dog or not. Your dog might be carrying extra weight right now, and you might not even realize the damage it's already causing. The daily habit that protects more than just teeth. Let me tell you something that genuinely shocked me when I learned it. That extra 5 pounds your dog is carrying, it's not just about looking a little rounder or moving a bit slower. Those extra pounds are actively working against their heart, their joints, their organs, every single day. And here's what most people don't realize. On a small or medium-sized dog, 5 pounds is like you or me carrying an extra 30 or 40 pounds everywhere we go. Imagine that weight on your knees, your hips, your heart. Veterinary studies show that approximately 56% of dogs in the United States are overweight or obese. That's more than half. And the most devastating part? Research published by the Association for Pet Obesity Prevention found that dogs at a healthy weight live almost 2 years longer than overweight dogs. 2 years. That's 2 more years of morning cuddles, walks in the park, tail wags when you come home. But how do you know if your dog is actually overweight? Most of us are so used to seeing our dogs every day that we don't notice gradual changes. Here's a simple test. Run your hands along your dog's rib cage. You should be able to feel their ribs easily under a thin layer of fat without pressing hard. If you have to push and search for the ribs, that's excess weight. From above, your dog should have a visible waist, an indentation between the rib cage and hips. From the side, the belly should tuck up slightly. Different breeds have different body types, of course. A greyhound naturally looks leaner than a Labrador, but the rib test and waist check work across all breeds. If you're unsure, your vet can give you a body condition score and tell you exactly where your dog should be. Now here's the difficult truth. We cause this. Not intentionally, not maliciously, but out of love. We express love through food. Those puppy eyes begging for a piece of your sandwich. That excited dance when you reach for the treat jar. It feels good to make them happy, and food is the easiest way to do it. But that extra piece of cheese, those table scraps, that handful of training treats throughout the day, it adds up faster than you think. A single slice of cheese for a small dog is equivalent to you eating 3 cheeseburgers in terms of calories. One cookie can be 10% of a medium dog's daily caloric needs. We're loving them in ways that hurt them, and they have no way to understand that. So what's the solution? First, measure their food. Don't eyeball it. Use an actual measuring cup. Those feeding guidelines on the bag are starting points. Adjust based on your individual dog's metabolism and activity level. Second, account for treats. If you're giving treats throughout the day for training or just because, reduce their meal portions accordingly. Treats should never exceed 10% of daily calories. Third, and this is crucial, increase activity. Even 20 extra minutes of walking per day makes a significant difference. Play fetch, go for a swim if possible, try a game of tug-of-war. Physical activity burns calories, builds muscle, and strengthens the cardiovascular system. It's literally the best medicine available, and it's free. Drop a comment and tell me, how much exercise does your dog get daily? Be honest, no judgment here. I'll respond to every single one, and maybe we can brainstorm ways to add more movement into your routine together. But here's something I bet you never connected. Weight and dental health are more related than you'd think. Overweight dogs often have more inflammation throughout their body, which extends to their gums and mouth. And speaking of mouths, this brings me to something that most dog owners completely overlook. There's something happening in your dog's mouth right now that's affecting more than just their breath. Bacteria are building up on their teeth, and those bacteria don't stay in the mouth. They enter the bloodstream. And when they do, they travel to vital organs, particularly the heart and kidneys. Studies estimate that 80% of dogs over the age of 3 have some degree of periodontal disease. 80%. That's not just bad breath or yellow teeth, it's an active infection. And here's the terrifying connection. Dogs with severe periodontal disease are at significantly higher risk for heart disease, kidney disease, and liver problems. The bacteria from infected gums literally seed themselves in other organs. You can't see it happening. Your dog isn't going to tell you their gums hurt. They're going to keep eating, keep playing, keep acting normal. Because dogs instinctively hide pain and weakness. By the time you notice something's wrong, the damage has already been progressing for months or even years. But there's something you can do about this. Something simple. Something that takes less than 5 minutes a day. And it's probably the single most overlooked aspect of dog care that has the biggest impact on long-term health. I wish I'd started doing this years earlier. Because when I finally learned the right way to do it, I saw results within weeks. My dog's breath improved, the vet noticed cleaner teeth, and I stopped worrying about that silent infection spreading through her body. The solution is sitting in your bathroom right now, but if you use the wrong one, you could accidentally poison your dog. The signs. Your dog is asking for help and how to act, brushing your dog's teeth. That's the solution. And I know what you're thinking. My dog will never let me do that. Or, that sounds impossible. I thought the same thing. But here's what changed my mind. Realizing that a few minutes of mild inconvenience for my dog now could prevent years of pain, infections, expensive dental procedures under anesthesia, and potentially life-threatening organ damage later. Here's the critical part. You absolutely cannot use human toothpaste. Ever. Most human toothpaste contains xylitol, an artificial sweetener that is extremely toxic to dogs. Even a small amount can cause rapid insulin release, leading to hypoglycemia, seizures, liver failure, and death. You need dog-specific toothpaste. It comes in flavors like chicken, beef, or peanut butter, and it's safe to swallow. Start slowly. Don't just shove a toothbrush in your dog's mouth on day 1. Let them lick the toothpaste off your finger first. Get them used to the taste. Then gently lift their lip and rub your finger along their gums and teeth. Do this for a few days. Once they're comfortable, introduce a dog toothbrush or a finger brush. The goal is to brush the outer surfaces of the teeth where plaque accumulates most, focusing on the back molars. Ideally, you'd brush daily. Realistically, 3 to 4 times a week makes a significant difference. And I promise you, after 2 weeks, it becomes routine. Your dog learns that this is just part of life, and many dogs actually start to enjoy it because of the flavored toothpaste. Dental chews and toys can help between brushings, but they're supplements, not replacements. Look for products with the Veterinary Oral Health Council seal. That means they've been tested and proven effective. And schedule professional dental cleanings with your vet as recommended, usually once a year for most dogs. But dental care is just one piece of the puzzle. Your dog's overall health depends on something else that's just as important: physical and mental exercise. A tired dog is a healthy dog, and I don't just mean physically tired. Mental stimulation is equally crucial. Dogs who don't get enough exercise become overweight, anxious, depressed, and destructive. They develop behavioral problems not because they're bad dogs, but because they're bored and frustrated. Exercise releases endorphins, maintains muscle mass, keeps joints mobile, supports cardiovascular health, and strengthens the immune system. How much exercise does your dog need? It depends on breed, age, and individual energy levels. Generally, small dogs need 30 to 40 minutes of activity daily. Medium dogs need 60 to 90 minutes. Large and high-energy breeds need 90 minutes to 2 hours or more. Puppies need multiple short sessions throughout the day. Senior dogs still need movement, just gentler and shorter sessions. And it's not just about walking. Mental exercise tires dogs out just as much as physical activity. Puzzle toys, hide and seek with treats, learning new tricks, sniffing games. These activities engage their brains and satisfy their natural instincts. A 15-minute training session can be as exhausting as a 30-minute walk. Tell me in the comments, what's your dog's favorite way to exercise? And do they get enough? I want to hear your stories, and I'll respond to everyone. Now here's something most people miss entirely. Your dog can't tell you when something hurts. They can't say, "My stomach feels weird," or "My leg aches today." But they are constantly communicating through behavior. And if you're not paying attention, you'll miss the signs until the problem becomes serious. Subtle changes in behavior are often the first indication of health issues. Is your dog suddenly less interested in their favorite game? That could indicate joint pain or illness. Sleeping significantly more than usual. Possible sign of hypothyroidism, infection, or depression. Drinking excessively. Could be diabetes or kidney issues. Licking one specific spot obsessively. Pain, injury, or skin condition. Changes in appetite matter too. Eating less could mean dental pain, nausea, or dozens of other issues. Eating more could signal metabolic disorders. The point is, you know your dog better than anyone. Trust your instincts. If something feels off, it probably is. This is why preventive veterinary care is absolutely essential. Annual checkups for healthy adult dogs, twice yearly for seniors over 7 years old. These visits catch problems before symptoms appear. Blood work can detect kidney disease, liver issues, diabetes, and thyroid problems early when they're most treatable. A simple physical exam can find lumps, heart murmurs, dental disease, and joint problems. Prevention is always easier and less expensive than treatment. Always. A yearly exam costs a fraction of what emergency care costs. And more importantly, catching something early can be the difference between a minor adjustment and a life-threatening crisis. So here's what I want you to take away from everything we've talked about today. These 7 tips: proper hydration, quality nutrition, healthy weight, dental care, exercise, behavioral observation, and preventive vet visits. They're not complicated, they're not expensive. They're simple, consistent actions that show love through care, not just affection. Your dog depends on you for everything. Every decision you make directly impacts the length and quality of their life. And the beautiful thing is, you have the power to give them the best possible chance at a long, healthy, happy life by your side. Start with one thing. Just one. Maybe it's adding an extra water bowl. Maybe it's finally scheduling that vet appointment you've been putting off. Maybe it's committing to an extra 10 minutes of playtime each day. Small changes create massive results over time, because every moment with your dog is precious, and they deserve every single moment we can give them. If this video helped you, please subscribe to the channel so you don't miss more tips on keeping your best friend healthy and happy. Drop a comment telling me which tip you're going to implement first. I read and respond to every single one. Thank you for caring enough about your dog to watch until the end. That love you have for them, that's what makes you a great dog owner. Now let's make sure they're around to receive that love for as long as possible.